Joining us today to discuss the latest in the U.S. presidential campaign is Dr. Frank Musmar, an academic and political analyst from Texas. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
Mr. Musmar, what does Obama's involvement in the election campaign signify for the Democratic Party?
Well, eventually they're trying to boost the records uh, because really the most of the polls is showing that their numbers is falling down, especially among the black voters. So in Pittsburgh, as an example, Pennsylvania is one of the states that Obama carried in 2008 and 2012, I think, and the voters. Kind of very hesitant by going the same direction. And basically, the black voters among the most significant criteria within the United States that they've really been affected by the economy. So I think Obama was trying just to boost the numbers for the Democrats, even though he did not really mention something new or something really related to the main issues that the Americans, especially the black voters, that they are really suffering now.
Dr. Musmar, why did Obama choose this particular time to engage in this campaign?
Well, basically, as I told you, the numbers is talking. Now, in the latest polls, the numbers are not doing good at all for the Democrats. Besides the point that they're like trying to show that they are still doing good, definitely they are not. The numbers are falling down, and it's basically among their base. You know, their voting base. Basically, they are uh, among immigrants, among black communities, among Hispanics. So when they start losing those particular votes, the really chances are really dropping, and it's not really good.
Let me ask you about the implications of his choice to focus on black men and the state of Pennsylvania.
Well, basically, we are talking about one of the most important must-win swing state. It's a must-win for either or. Now, for the black men, he is trying to appeal to the black men to choose the first black woman to be the president of the United States. So the numbers is showing based on the polls that the black men are not supporting the idea. This is number one. Number two, there is no actual program that the Democrats are really pushing for their, let's say, for their campaign. Basically, we have to recognize the point that Kamala Harris was part of this sitting government. She was the break-in vote because she is the vice president for many resolutions, including the TIPS resolution, taxing the TIPS resolution within the United States. So the idea is uh, to go and create support for a failing candidate that is not trying to address the most important thing in the United States nowadays, which is the inflation, the borders, the taxations, the wars, and just concentrating on the men and being likely to vote for a first a black president. I think it was a bad message. I don't think it was really a coherent message that he really presented in that rally.
Well, it seems that Pennsylvania is one of the swing states that really, as you said, respectively, have to be taken or have to be won. How about the other swing states, and how is the opinion poll showing in those swing polls?
The latest polls is showing that they are not really doing good. I think the latest one that I've read today shows the percentage up to 56 percentage for favoring Donald Trump. So yes, the numbers are not doing good. They are not tackling the problem with the Democrats. They are not tackling the most important point. They're still talking about dreams and beautiful life and all that kind of stuff, and they're not going for really good programs. So when we are talking about energy, when we are talking about inflation, let me just explain inflation for you in small words. Inflation normally comes because of extra spending. When a government spend extra money, there is inflation, and that inflation normally comes by taxation or extra taxation for a normal citizen. So in order to drop the taxation, you need to increase the income. And that's, as an example, a good message for President Trump, because he's saying that we're going to do fracking and we're going to increase the income by doing energy security, and during a year or within a year he's going to drop the tax. He's going to drop the power bill 50% for the American citizens. That's a plan. So there is no plan really talking about how we're going to tackle the inflation, how we're going to tackle the borders, how we're going to tackle wars. There's no really good message. I was expecting that Barack Obama, because he's been president for 8 years, and he was an expert in economy and all that kind of stuff. I was expecting he's going to carry a better plan,
But
more than just supporting that black people, you need to vote for black women.
yes.
I'm sorry.
Well, Mr. Musmar, thank you so much for sharing your expertise on the US elections and providing us with such valuable insights into the campaign strategies and the potential impact.